As the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the village, Pastor Kwame emerged from the humble abode of the one-sailing boy, whose fever had miraculously vanished at the touch of his hand. With fervent prayer still lingering on his lips, he made his way through the bustling village streets towards the modest church nestled at its heart. The air was alive with anticipation, as the villagers hurried to gather for the evening service, their colorful garments swaying with each hurried step. Voices echoed through the narrow lanes, mingling with the sound of distant drums and joyful laughter. But as Pastor Kwame quickened his pace, eager to share the news of the miraculous healing with his congregation, he encountered an old man seated beneath the shade of a sprawling baobab tree. His weathered face bore the lines of a lifetime of toil, and his eyes gleamed with a wisdom born of countless seasons. Intrigued by the sight, Pastor Kwame paused in his tracks, his heart stirred by a sudden impulse to lend an ear to the old man's tale. He found out that the old man's name was Mr. Ose. As Pastor Kwame sat with the old man beneath the baobab tree, listening intently to his stories, he noticed a heaviness in the old man's voice as he spoke of love found and lost. Sensing there was more to the tale, Pastor Kwame gently probed, and soon the old man's words spilled forth like a rushing river. He spoke of a love that had once burned brightly, of a woman whose laughter had been the melody of his days. But as the years marched on, their love had become entangled in the thorns of misunderstanding and resentment, until it withered like a flower starved of sunlight. With tears glistening in his eyes, Mr. Ose confessed that he had sought solace in the sanctuary of the church, hoping to find redemption for the sins of his past and reconciliation for the ones that still festered in his heart. Upon hearing this, Pastor Kwame felt a surge of compassion wash over him, and without hesitation, he extended an invitation for the Mr. Ose to accompany him to the evening service. And so, side by side, they made their way through the winding streets of the village, their footsteps echoing in rhythm with the beating of their hearts. As they both walked to the church, the old man continued to speak about life and wisdom. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the village, Pastor Kwame was reminded that miracles were not confined to the realm of the extraordinary, but dwelled within the everyday rhythms of life itself. They finally made it to the church, where in the hallowed halls, the air seemed to shimmer with a palpable sense of peace and forgiveness. They knelt before the altar, their prayers in unity with the prayers of the faithful gathered around them. And as the strains of the choir lifted their voices in praise, Mr. Ose felt a weight lift from his weary shoulders, replaced by a newfound sense of hope and reconciliation. For in that place, Mr. Ose found the courage to lay bare his soul before his Creator, to seek forgiveness for the mistakes of his past and to embrace the promise of a brighter tomorrow. For in that moment, Pastor Kwame was reminded that miracles were not confined to the realm of the extraordinary, but dwelled within the everyday rhythms of life itself. And as the final notes of the hymn faded into the ether, Pastor Kwame placed a comforting hand on the Mr. Ose's shoulder, a silent gesture of solidarity and support. Bible Scripture. Matthew 11 verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. 1 Peter 5 verse 7. Cast all your worries on him because he cares for you.